Welcome back! In this lesson, we will talk about connecting different Notion databases with the help of relation property. After finishing the lesson, you will know how to connect database documents and why would you need it. In the practical part, we will create two more databases, one for weeks, another for habits, and connect trackers records to corresponding habits and weeks records. Relation property type. Have you noticed a relation type among other predefined property types? We are going to talk about this one. Note that it is placed in the advanced section together with formula. But relation is much easier to use. This property type allows us to link records from different databases. Let's assume you create videos for other people. To organize your working process, you could create one database for your video projects and another one for your clients, and then add a relation column to connect them. Choose the database name to configure the relation. You can find a database name here in the upper left area. Once you add a relation to a database, a mirroring property will be added to the connected database. You can rename relation properties same way as any other property. In fact, a relation column is kind of a bridge to another database, which gives you the possibility to connect any particular document of one database to one or more particular documents of another database. Let's add some connections to the example with video projects. You can see, once I add a connection to one database, it is mirrored in another database. Actually, you could even connect records of the same database to each other. For example, if you have a tasks database, you might want to link a task to the ones it depends on. But what is the benefit? First of all, relations help you to reduce the amount of data. It's very likely that client data would contain some contacts info, like email or something. Let's imagine I decided not to mess up with relations and put all the data about video projects and clients into the same database. In this case, I have to duplicate client data to every video project with the same client. If I make a mistake or an email is changed, I will have to do a lot of updates to fix it. Okay, in this example, I could pull together the necessary records by appropriate search query and do the batch update for all of them, but it's not always the case. And still, this method is error-prone, at least because I could input email with mistakes for some records at the first place. With relations, I can store emails in the corresponding client's documents. If any changes happens to client info, I have to update it once. I can easily go from a project to the corresponding client to find the email. And if you still want to see email column in the project database, it is doable with rollup property. In the next lesson, we will talk about rollups in details. In addition to getting rid of duplications and unnecessary tedious work, relations are indispensable when it comes to making calculations and analysis beyond one particular record. And while you may be more or less satisfied with formula capabilities for doing analysis within one record, when it comes to analyzing several records in a database, you will definitely need relations together with rollups. For instance, if I track time spent on every task for my project, I will wonder how much time I spent for the whole project, or what is my total income from all the video projects I made for a particular client. I may track my spendings and be curious about my average restaurant bill. You will see several examples in the next lesson, which will bring us deeper into the rollup topic. And now let's have some practice with relation property type. In the class project, every tracker document pertains to one particular habit and covers one particular week time frame. If I didn't want any analysis, any history, I would be satisfied with having this single table, and I would just clean it up and adjust the records in the beginning of every week. Or I could have a clean table as the template and duplicate it for every new week. But I want to show you the power of Notion, so we're going to add some complexity. Let's create a new database for habits. and add to it a relation property, connecting habits database to trackers. Now let's add habit records and connect them with the corresponding trackers. You might wonder what is the difference between habits and trackers. Well, while a habit is more about routine itself, trackers are about your progress for this habit within particular time frames, weeks in our case. And it is supposed that after a week is finished, you add a new tracker record for this same habit to continue tracking the progress. Eventually, one habit will have more and more trackers connected to it over time. In the next lesson, we will start building the statistics for our habits based on the connected trackers data, and you will see the benefits of these connections. Okay, now we have several trackers looking very similar, and it's hard to understand what is the time frame for every particular tracker. To fix this, let's add a weeks database with a relation to the trackers. Okay, I will add current week and several next weeks. You can use any week names you like. I prefer to add week numbers to the names. Now we may connect trackers to corresponding weeks. Moreover, we can filter the trackers to only see the ones connected to the current week. By the way, if you already have Wix database in Notion for tracking weekly tasks, insights or something else, you might want to connect this existing database with trackers to also see the habits you work on within a particular week. Okay, we are done with this lesson. Now you know what is a relation property for and how to add one. We have also added 2 new databases to our Notion project and linked them to the trackers. In the next lesson, we will cover the missing piece of the puzzle for understanding the power of relations. We will talk about rollups. I'm waiting for you there.